I'm hoping that this is a good aggregation of what's going on here at President Trump's his home and office at Mar-a-Lago. Um, what happens when former presidents leave the office or the White House? They have about 6 hours to get out of the house, and a lot of that is spent communicating with the new president. They kind of do like a breakdown of everything that's going on. And a lot of the times in the rush, some classified documents are taken out of the White House, and the National Archives then coordinates with the former president to get those documents back into custody and secure them. And President Trump has given about 15 boxes of classified documents. I don't know if all the documents in these 15 boxes were classified, but 15 boxes containing classified documents were returned to the National Archives. And what happened was the Trump lawyers thought that they had a good relationship with the National Archives, but the National Archives felt a little differently, and they have been in contact with the FBI, and they requested that the FBI raid the home of President Trump because they implied, or they alleged to the FBI, that Trump had classified documents still at his location. Now, I don't know who at the National Archives was interested in promoting this idea, but I do know that the National Archives thinks that there are certain documents that President Trump has that they need because they're classified. And the whole hope here, just to give you the grand perspective, the whole hope is that this prevents President Trump from running in the future, running for office. Okay, if he does have classified documents, then there may be a prosecution, and if there's a prosecution, then one of the results may be that he can no longer run for president. And so this is kind of the whole pipe dream that they've been looking for with the whole January 6 trials, with the Russia Gate, with the Ukraine Gate. So this is the reason that they're trying to go after him, strategically speaking. There are a few things that I wanted to point out. This is you'll hear on I think I was watching MSNBC, and some guy was saying this happens all the time to high level officials. I don't think it's ever happened to a president before, but more importantly than that, we've had in recent years leaked information that was classified by high levels in the government, and after the information was leaked due to incompetence, the person who leaked that information wasn't prosecuted because it wasn't malicious, it wasn't malice. But I'm talking, of course, about Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton had classified documents that were leaked from her residence, her home, on a private server. So the exact same situation, plus some, because some of that information got out. There was no prosecution of her. There was no raid on her home. She deleted 33,000 emails. And you may say, okay, well, that's old news, but it is relevant to what's going on because it is a parody of the raid into President Trump's house. Yeah, so the information about the warrant was from Eric Trump. But Eric Trump also said that they were getting along pretty well with the National Archives and that this came out of nowhere. It is important to note that the raid came from the DC FBI. It wasn't local Miami FBI. In fact, the local Miami FBI had no idea that it was happening until moments before it did happen. I do think though that it's important to also contrast this situation with another situation from the past. Uh, the whole Nixon thing is a pretty similar story where Nixon investigated the DNC. He looked at the DNC. He raided them. The only difference is he tried to hide it, whereas this raid was so blatantly obvious, and it was honestly political. Yesterday I said in my video that the FBI is objectively like corrupt and political. And this is an exact situation that explains how. So I was validated in the very day I said it. The FBI doesn't raid or investigate Hillary Clinton. The FBI raids President Trump over alleged materials being housed at his location. Okay, he is also the expected winner of the 2024 election. And you may say, oh, well, he hasn't even announced yet. Well, everybody knows he's going to run. Everybody knows that President Biden is pathetic. Everybody knows that President Biden, all the Democrats are trying to sink his ship before he can even get it going. So there's the reason they're doing that is because they know that President Trump is going to run and that he is going to be clocking Joe Biden in the face and he's going to destroy him. And so the goal here is to sink President Trump's election presidency before he can even run. And so it's like, how can you not see this as objectively political in any way? It never happened to anybody else that was this high up in the government. You may hear that it did, and I just ask you, like, well, let's get some names, let's get some parity. What is the equivalence on the other side? When was the last time that a Democrat was investigated for anything? We have even worse than that. We have documents of Hunter Biden smoking crack and weighing it with firearms, and we know that he lied on a firearm background check. We have, but further than that, forget that. That's kind of not here nor there. But what's important is that after we have all this criminal information on Hunter Biden, we also have alleged materials that connect him, his father, and China in illicit business dealings that would be at the very least corrupt and a conflict of interest, and at the greater end maybe national security issues. So when the FBI raids the President Trump home, the Mar-a-Lago, we're seeing the contrast of them having actual information on President Biden and Hunter Biden, and they're not doing anything with that. They've had it for years. They didn't mess with President Biden's campaign. They're attempting to sink President Trump's campaign before he even can run, before he even announces. And make no mistake, that is what's going on here. It is a political move. If it wasn't political, then we'd see moves on the other side. We have evidence. We have Hillary Clinton doing the exact same thing. We have President Biden doing worse, honestly. And we have President Trump doing what Hillary Clinton did to some extent, in a lesser extent, because he didn't delete or bleach his emails after they had been subpoenaed. So it is a contrast. We only see the FBI going in one way, and that is, as usual, pro-left, anti-conservatism. That is how they go. That's how they will go, and that's how things will be going in the future. So things to watch out for on this story are what documents get leaked. We said yesterday that the documents will be leaked, and you can still expect that to happen. What we're going to find out is that some of these documents were classified, I'm sure. I don't know how you wouldn't have classified documents at your house after being president. It's like, you bring like 20,000 papers home, and it's like one of them has classified intel on it. And it's like, oh, well, game over. You can't run for president anymore. That's what we're going to see here. I know that they left with a handful of boxes. I don't recall the exact number. But that's kind of like my whole morning spiel. I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. As always, please like if you enjoyed, and if you didn't like, leave a dislike. That helps me learn, and I kind of am doing this early, so hopefully I can get better at it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. I will have more videos released today as well, so subscribe if you're interested. Thank you.